Me and my BPD ex-boyfriend of 4 years broke up recently. He was my first love. Me, as dissociative as I am, I was just so drawn to his passion. A lot of people would consider him an artistic genius. But this sub has made me open my eyes to how much abuse I went through. It's so much of a mind fuck that sometimes I can't piece together what happened. He can eloquently explain to everyone in his life all the things that are wrong with them, but takes very little responsibility for himself. He believes therapy and any form of psychological treatment is for simple-minded people, that he is too deep and complicated to listen to someone who doesn't know what they're talking about. He will get in screaming fits with his family over pretty much everything and walk away feeling as though they owe him an apology. He constantly berated me, criticized my friends, and got mad at me for hanging out with them, talked to me like I'm a piece of garbage, and then questioned why I wasn't affectionate enough to him, why I avoided him and went silent when he came home. I constantly thought, there is something wrong with me. Why am I such a cold, emotionless person? He has these wonderful flowery apologies, and he's nice to me sometimes, and he's such a passionate person, so why am I such a bitch? I thought I wasn't deserving of anything better than this, and he is about 1,000,000 times more eloquent than me, so he can get his feeling across way better than I can, and he can be extremely convincing. He could honestly be a salesman for a garbage bag, like it's a death trap. I was completely cut off from friends and suicidal. I was convinced I was a narcissist with no purpose in life. It seems like a lot of BPDs don't know what you get what you give means. Are only children more likely to have BPD? Like bro, if you're wondering why everyone around you looks terrified of you, and either picks fights with you for no reason, or becomes yes men at everything you say just to please you, maybe it has something to do with how you treat them. I think this is one reason he thinks he's right about everything. People are so terrified that they just agree with whatever he says. People are so lenient and he is so ungrateful for it. They give him more chances than he deserves, and he still acts like everyone is out to get him. My biggest fear leaving him, as someone who dissociated a lot, was that I couldn't live life in a deep way without him, but I know this is bullshit. I want to live life more honestly and stop taking it for granted. Try to help others and help them be themselves. Make art, things like that. I want to just try to get something positive out of this. I think I've learned that I have to stick up for myself, no matter what. A huge part of me feels deeply sorry for him, but I know I cannot fix him, and his mental illness almost destroyed my life. I've 32F, been married for 8 years. It hasn't been a great time, too. It's been a rough marriage. Back in March 2022, my husband, 39 meters, started an affair with another married woman. He met her on Ashley Madison. I caught him in September 2022. I gave him a chance to redeem himself, but he kept talking and seeing her from then until March 2023. I thought March 2023 was the end. In October of 2024, I caught him talking to her again. I made him change his number. Fast forward to September 2024, I've caught him once again, talking and probably meeting up with her all over again. I feel completely broken. We never loved each other right. He said I didn't love him enough, and I was a completely different person than from when we were married. We just started counseling 2 weeks ago. For the first time, I felt hope and a connection with him, but everything is a lie. For some reason, the thought of not seeing him and being near him is devastating to me. I do not want my family to know, but I want her life turned upside down. She has faced zero repercussion for her disgusting behavior. I coach high school baseball, so between getting this divorce done, dealing with my stacks, and coaching these kids, I don't have much free time at the moment. Quite a bit has happened, so this might be a long post, so please bear with me. Since it's been a little over a month since I've posted, I'll give a small rundown of what all that happened in my last post in case you've forgotten. If this is the first time seeing my post, or if you need to go back to reread something, it's all in my profile still. So, we left off with M being arrested after striking my friend's wife, and telling the police I assaulted her, and after showing them the video of all that happened, I was let go and she was taken to jail on a variety of charges. I didn't hear from M for a while until her lawyer reached out to mine, letting him know that he'd be representing M and doing the lawyer-to-lawyer formalities. I reached out to Jay's fiancé asking what was happening and found out she had kicked him out and her brother and father took all his things to Jay's new place. I planned on going to my cabin after work but found W in my driveway waiting for me. She needed to pick some things up for her sister. After telling her I wouldn't be touching any of her things, I told her I would pay for a moving company the following week. W asked if she could come up to my cabin with me that time and I agreed, mostly due to everyone telling me she might be needing a break from her sister, and the last time she asked me I said no. I documented everything with the movers, making sure she couldn't claim I broke something she deems as special, and sent everything to my lawyer. That's pretty much all that had happened in the last post, and now the update. A few days after the movers took her things to M, my lawyer received some paperwork saying I damaged her things and demanding I pay her $1,500, or she would be taking me to court over it. My lawyer sent hers all the videos and pictures, asking exactly where the damages were that he claimed I made. He told me all this does is tell the judge, well, get how unhinged she is, and it might be a headache now, but when it's time for court, this will all be perfect evidence. I don't think her lawyer was ready for how meticulous I am, and that I will photograph and document everything. When I found out about my wife's affair, I was for some reason pulled to this page and read all of the horror stories about the things these people's former spouses did to them, and I absolutely refuse to be another one of those stories. I've prepared myself for almost every outcome and accusation she could make. I wouldn't put anything past her at this point. Anne had called me once every other day, but I never pick up. If she leaves a voicemail, I don't bother listening to it, I just send it to my lawyer. Every time I send my lawyer something, he always tells me, "You are a lawyer's wet dream. You listen to everything I say, you gathered a mountain of evidence on your own. I have yet to have a client that has done so well." I wasn't exaggerating when I said he says it every time, but it also puts a smile on my face every time. Getting that reassurance from him that I'm doing everything the right thing just makes me feel a little bit better about this whole situation. About 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, my lawyer told me that we have enough evidence to bury her outside of court, and if it fails it would look good on us for trying, so we set a date, a week ago, to meet in a neutral lawyer's office. Before we met, he told me no matter what, don't react to anything that M might say, and that we do will be recorded for a judge will read if it goes to court. We arrived in the early morning and went into the office. To my surprise, she was already there waiting with her lawyer. We walked in and the lawyers started greeting each other, M, and I sat there silently waiting for what was going to happen. M's lawyer started by asking what we had to offer. Mine scoffed and said, with a mountain of evidence of the infidelity and M's inappropriate behavior, after the only thing we'll offer is half of the selling price of the home and half of the savings account. That's more than any judge would award you. Basically, what you came into the marriage with, you'll be leaving with. Then he looked directly at M and said, if you decide to go to court, I will put every message making you read it all out loud. Then I will put every photo up for all into court to see, censored, but he didn't say that at the time, and make you describe in detail what you're doing in each photo. Then I'll bring up your recent charges and play the video that was taken that night. M started to tear up, looking at me asking if there was anything she could do to make this right. I said, you've been cheating on me since before our wedding. All I can prove is a few weeks before the wedding. But I expect it was much longer. There is nothing at all you could possibly do to make me forget or forgive you for what you've done. Sign the papers, it's more than you deserve, and I want to be done with this whole sham you created. She cried obnoxiously for 15 minutes, having to excuse herself to the restroom. When she returned, she was still in tears, but signed the papers and walked out not long after. So in about a month everything will be filed, and all I'll have left to do is sell the house. I want to thank you all for reading and all of the advice you've given. Also, shout out to the strong, successful male who's been bringing what's happened to me on YouTube. I've read through most of the comments on there, taking the advice from there as well. I don't see anything else happening, but I could be wrong, and if it does, I'll let you know, but this will probably be my last post. So again, thank you all. I hope what's happened to me has helped at least one person out there.